So, I would like you to share your screen now.
To share my screen.
Yes. Okay, good. And I want you to tell me some of the things you learned for the last class.
Okay. During our last class, we dealt with functions. So we said function in Python is a block of organized or reusable code that performs a specific task. And function helps to break down larger programs into more manageable or smaller pieces, and it makes the code to be more easier to read or understand. Then we said in a function, we can pass a data known as parameter in a function. A function can return data as a result as well. Then in Python, we said a function is defined by using the def keyword. So no sooner we type the def keyword, it will interpret it as a function. Then to call a function, we use the function name, then followed by the parenthesis. The function name which followed by the parenthesis. And we talked about arguments as well in functions. We said we use arguments in function to pass information. Then we can add as many arguments as we want. The only thing here, we just need to separate the arguments by command. Then we said in Python, arguments and parentheses can be used sometimes for the same thing, and they can be used to pass on information in a function. We said in a function, a parameter is the variable listed inside the parentheses in the function, whilst an argument is the value that is sent to the function when it is called. Then again, we talked about in function, a function must be called by the number of the correct argument, which this means that if the function has two arguments, we have to call the function with two arguments. It has not to be more or not less. Then we looked at some examples of functions onto it leads us to the square of a function. So we dealt at some example, and you later asked me what I understood, what is my understanding on the whole Python programming. So I think so far and so forth, that was what we treated on functions.
And nice one from you to recall. So I want you to search on Google what is class in Python.
I don't hear you.
I want you to search on Google what is class in Python.
Okay. You said what is class, right?
Yes, what is class in Python? Uh-huh. Search.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So read through for us.
Um, a class in Python is a
Oh,
blueprint for
please
creating.
scroll down. Scroll, scroll down
Oh,
for us. Let's see. Let's see some. Scroll down. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay,
are you
let's
seeing? Are
go
you
to
seeing?
W3 school. Let's go to W3 school. W3 school.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
there
then
now.
you read from here. Okay, yes.
Okay. Um,
You can read.
Python classes or objects. Python is an object-oriented programming language. Almost everything in Python is an object with its properties and methods. A class is like an object instructor or a blueprint for creating objects. Create a class. To create a class, use the keyword class. Example, create a class named my class with a property name X. Then they show the example below here, which is class, my class, then column X equals to 5.
Okay.
Now,
Example of object.
yeah,
You create.
now
Yeah. Create.
create objects. Now
Okay.
we can use the class name my class to create objects. Example, create an object named P1 and print the value of X. Here is the example, P1 equals to my class. Open a bracket and close it. Then you print. Then in the bracket, P1 dot X. Close the bracket. Then here, um, D underscore init underscore open bracket and close bracket function. The examples above are classes and objects in their simplest form and are not really useful in real life application. To understand the meaning of classes, we have to understand the built-in underscore init underscore open a bracket function. All classes have function call underscore init underscore open and close bracket, which is always executed when the class is being initiated. Use the underscore init underscore open and close bracket function to assign values to object properties or other operations that are necessary to do when the object is being created. Then we have an example here. Create a class named person. Use the underscore init underscore open and close bracket. Function to
Okay. Is
assign
that
value.
all? Scroll down.
Okay. Here say note the underscore init underscore open and close bracket function is called automatically every time the class is being used to create a new object. Then we have the d underscore str underscore open and close function. D underscore str underscore open and close function controls what should be returned when the class object is represented as a string. If the underscores str underscore open and close bracket function is not set, the string representation of the object is returned. We have example here.
Okay. Can you scroll down for us?
Yeah.
Scroll down. Let's see. Okay, now objects. Focus on the object. Read for us object method.
Object methods. Objects can also contain methods. Methods in objects are functions that belong to the object. Let us create a method in the person class. Then we have the example. Then we come to self
Okay.
parameter. The self parameter is a reference to the current instance of the class and is used to access variables that belong to the class. It does not have to be named self. You can call it whatever you like, but it has to be the first parameter of any function in the class. Then we have the example below. Then
Okay.
comes to modify object properties. You
So
can
scroll
modify.
down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Okay. Scroll down again. Scroll down. Okay. Scroll down. Scroll down again. So read this for us. Let's see. No, go up. The press statement, Abi. Yes,
We
scroll up.
pass statement.
Yes, press past statement.
Is it the pass statement that you want me to read?
Yes, read it for us.
Okay. Class definitions cannot be empty. But if you for some reason have a class definition with no content, put in the pass statement to avoid getting an error.
Okay, it's fine. I believe you understand what you read. And before we go further, I will try to explain everything you read in a summary, in a way which you will be able to understand it very well. So I want to summarize everything you just read now for us. So first of all, a class. A class is an object constructor or a blueprint for creating objects. A class is an object constructor or a blueprint for creating objects. So just for example, um, we all belongs to a class of right? Hello.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
I say we all belongs to a class of human, right?
Yeah.
And inside human we have uh, okay, let's go. Okay, inside human we have the mammals, right? A class of mammals.
Mhm.
Hello, hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Just
Okay,
like
in
you say
mammals, for
we
example,
humans we are in the class of mammals, and mammals have
yes,
the sub classes as well.
yes, sorry, I misinterpreted. For example, the human belongs to a class of mammals, right?
Yeah,
Then inside the mammal, there are other animal that belongs to mammals, right?
yeah,
Like I think the whale belongs to mammals.
yeah. Like the two category we have the vertebrate and the invertebrate.
Yes. Now, I want to let you know that the mammal is a class.
Yeah,
It's a class. is a class and the humans are the objects. Okay.
Okay.
Now I want to also introduce you to our family cycle. We have the parent, right?
Yeah.
And we have the children, right?
Yeah.
Now parent is a class. Every children bears their father's name or their parents' name, right?
Yeah.
Still the same way in Python programming, a class in class, object bears the class of anything you declare. Okay, so we are going to see more of it and you are going to see some of the example. So now let me summarize this for us. Objects are things but an encapsulation of variable and function into single entity. Object get variable and function from classes. Object gets variable and function from classes. To create a class, we use the keyword class. We use the keyword class. The first string inside the class is called docstring, which give the brief description about the class. All classes have function called init. All classes have a function called init. Init means initialization. Now, which is always executed when the class is being installed. We can use init function to assign value to object properties or other operation that are necessary to perform when the object is being created. And the self parameter is reference occurrence to the current instance of the class, and it is used to access class variable. Okay, self must be the first parameter of any function in a class. And we have the super. The super is a built-in function that return temporary objects of the superclass uh, that allow us to access method or of the base class. So we have the super class and the normal class. Okay, please note we have super class and normal class. Super class allow us to avoid using the base class name explicitly and to enable multiple inheritance. So this is summary of what I decided to give you. When you feel that you do not remember this, you go to the video and watch again. Okay,
Okay.
so now we are going to create example to see what we have just explained. eh? So we are going to see it, and we are going to see some of these examples of creating a class. So uh, I told you that, okay, you read that in creating a class, you must use a class name. You must use class as the name to declare a class, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can stop sharing. Let me share my screen. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to load my Google. Okay, trying to load it for us to see and work on. So I don't know if you are seeing my screen.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
So this is our first program to create a class. We are going to create a simple class, which is class. So we are going to use a first program called class. So then I'm going to name it my class. This is my class name, and now I'm going to declare a variable var1. Then I'm going to assign 10 to it. This is an example of a class. Now, if I want to print this class, first of all, I will declare a variable called object1. I will use a short form obj1, and I will assign it to my class. This is my class, and I will use the bracket. Okay, then I will make sure that I print it. Print. Then inside that print parameters, I'm going to call obj1 dot what var1. I'm going to call this is our first creation of class. Now look at what we did here.
The line was kind of scrambling. Hello? 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 Hello?
Now,
Yeah, hello?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay. So, and let's continue. I guess the network issue. Okay.
Okay.
So, you say you did not understand this part, and I created a class and I assign it to my class. Then I declared a variable called var1 and assign it to 10. Then I declare another variable which I will put my class name, which I will assign my class name to with a bracket. Remember, a class stands on its own. A class stands on its own. So I printed the variable name called object1 dot var dot my var which it gave us 10. I hope you understand what I just explained.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to introduce you to how we can create a class which we are going to initialize, and we are going to see how we are going to use the self. Did you remember you talked you read about self and all? You
Yeah.
read about initialization. So let's see how we are going to use that. Okay.
Okay.
Now we want to create a employee class, which we are going to collect the name of the class, the name of the employee, the employee ID. So we are creating a class now. Okay.
Okay.
Now please take your time. Watch me as I um, create this class. Now I'm going to create a class called employee, employee. Let me finish. So I've created an employee. Then I'll call the dev function underscore init. So then I will pass in myself. The self must be called first before any parameters. Okay. Now the name and the employee ID, thereafter my column. So now I have to call this the self first again, self dot name. I have to call it again attached to the name, and I will assign it to name. Then I'll call the self again dot employee ID. Okay. And as I will assign it again to employee ID, and I'll create another function. I'll create another function. I'll create another function which I'm going to name it as. Hello, are you with me? I'm not
Yeah,
hearing you again.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. So I'm creating another function which is def, and I'm creating a greeting function. Then I will call the self, then column. I will print this print, and I will tell him to tell me thank you for joining. And okay, like thank you for joining CM Tech. Thank you for joining CM Tech, CM CM Tech community, community, and so I'll pass in my column bracket. We are going to use the other printed format, and we are going to call the self dot name, self dot name. So this is it, and now I'm going to assign. I have to assign the employee details. So I'm going to create a variable called employee one. Okay,
Okay.
and I'm going to assign it to the employee name. Look at it. I'm going to assign it from here, employee. Let me call the employee, and I'm going to pass in the parameters, which is I'm going to tell him to print for me Abu. Then and I'm going to assign Abu ID. Okay, so I'm going to print all this. Okay, I'm going to print all this. I'm going to say print. Then I'll call the name, the name, command, employee one dot name. Okay, and I'm going to print an employee ID, and I'm going to do it like this. And I'm going to say employee ID. So I'm going to call the employee ID. So this is it. So I'm going to print the greets employee one dot greets. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So just watch me as I run it. So we are going to run this for now. So I'm running this first code, and I'm running the second. Okay. Now I want to see all my results of the code I've created, and I'm going to run this. So It did not run because my variable name was not complete. So I have to add p to it. So look at it. Now, how did you see it?
Yeah, yeah. Let me just take a look at it again. Okay.
So
Yeah,
what
I've seen it.
what what do you understand by this?
Yeah. From the you set a class first, which is the class is
Yes,
the employee. Then
employee, yes.
yeah, from there you give it a definition, which is within you have the self, the name, and that
No,
of the
it's not definition, it's function.
okay
I
the
call it
function.
I call it function.
Yeah, you
Yes,
call it
you
function.
remember dev.
Yeah, you call it
Yes, to
function.
initialize.
Yeah, and within the
Okay.
function, we are having a self, we are having name, and the employee ID. So from
Yes.
there,
Remember that we have to initialize, then we call the self. The self must come first before other parameters, okay?
okay,
Continue.
then we have self dot name, then which is equals to the name, and then the self dot employee ID equals to the employee ID. Then we have the function of greet as well. Then we have the print for function of greet as thanks for joining CM Tech community. So looking at the third variable here, the third code here, we have employee one, which is equals to the employee, and it is being defined as Abu, then that of the ID as 13256. Then when you
Yeah.
print when yeah, when you print it, the name when you ask to print it, the name comes as Abu since it's been defined as Abu. Then the employee ID comes as 13256, which is being defined as that. And that of the greetings also comes as thanks for joining CM Tech community.
Yeah. I hope this code is clear to you. So, do you have any complaint on anything you need to know or concerning this?
No, it's understandable.
Okay. Now we are going to work again. So let's create a simple. Okay, now I can modify it. Modify. Okay, now let's change the name. Let's change the name of
Okay.
this Abu. Let's change it to okay. Now for us to change, we are going to call emp1 dot name, and we are going to assign it to a new name. I'm going to assign it to Moses. Now, when I print EMT now, when I print EMT1 name, it will print out Moses. So I'm printing out EMT1 dot name. So my result will be Moses because I've already uh, modified it. I hope you said it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so if I want to delete the employee ID, I can also delete it. Okay. I can also delete it, but
Okay.
that is not now. Okay. If I delete it, it will not come out. for us again. Okay. Now look at this. I want to create a variable which the employee I'm going to pass in and the employee name and an ID. Okay. I can change the employee name to any other name again. For example, look at it. I have to call my function my class name employee. So let me create a variable name called mp2, and I'm going to call my class name employee, and I'm going to change it to Moses, then with a new serial numbers. Okay, Moses, and I'm going to assign it to a new serial number, which is this. Now I'm going to let me print out uh, uh, the name again of employee name and employee ID. Okay, let me print it out again. So I'm going to call my mp2 because I've already created a variable called mp2 emp2. Okay, emp2. So and I'm going to print it now for us, and I'm going to call the name. I'm going to create a name string, and I will call the name. Okay, and I will use column. This is a string, right? You know. I hope you know that this is a string I'm creating.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call my emp2 dot. I'm going to call the name. Okay. Then
Okay.
I'm going to also do it like this. Call the ID. So I want to copy this. I'm copying this. So and instead of one, I'm going to change it to two because we are using two, and I'm going to greet again using the emp2 dot greet. So with the brackets. So once I run it, automatically my details have been changed. Did you see the how class works? So
Yeah.
this is or the code has been already been created. So you can modify it, you can change, but it will not alter your original code. You understand?
Yeah.
Look at it. I've already make use of this class. I've already make use of this class. This is a parent class. I already assigned a value to it, and I can modify, I can add different names, anything I want to add. Provided my class is still there and the name is still there, just for me to call them and add the name I want to add. I hope you understand this
Yeah.
class. We just so any question before we move further?
Um. No, it's understandable.
Okay. So we are going to learn more. Okay. We are going to search to sorry, I want you to share your screen to Google. I'll stop sharing.
Okay.
So please, can you search for me inheritance in Python?
Inheritance.
Yes, in Python. And before you search, um, what do you understand by inheritance? The word inheritance.
Inheritance.
Yes.
Um, like it's kind of say like possessing something that has been given to you by another person or that has been passing on to you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, you can continue.
Inheritance in Python, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm there. Ah, what is this? Okay. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Python inheritance. Inheritance allows us to define a class that inherits all the methods and properties from another class. We have parent class. Parent class is the class being inherited from, also called base class. Then we have the child class. The child class is the class that inherits from another class, also called derived class. Then we have create a parent class. Any class can be a parent class. So the syntax is the same as creating any other class. Example, we have create a class name person with first name and last name properties and a point name method. Then we have the example below. Then create
Okay.
a child class. To create a class that inherits the functionality from another class, send the parent class as a parameter when creating the child class. Example here says create a class named student which will inherit the properties and method from the person class. Then we have the example below. Note, use the pass keyword when you do not want to add any other properties or method to the class. Now, the student class has the same properties and method as the person class. We have example. Use the student class to create an object and then execute the print name method. Then we have add the underscore init underscore open and close function. So far, we have created a child class that inherits the properties and method from its parents. We want to add the underscore init underscore open and close bracket function to the child class instead of pass the keyword. Note, the underscore init underscore open and close bracket function is called automatically every time the class is being used to create a new object. Then we have the example below. When you add the underscore init underscore open and close bracket function, the child class will no longer inherit the parents underscore init underscore open and close bracket function. Note, the child's underscore init underscore open and close bracket function overrides the inheritance of the parents underscore
Okay.
init underscore open and
Okay.
close function.
It's okay. And okay, now I want to tell you about inheritance.
Okay.
Normally, in African tradition, in African tradition, when someone's parents died, or maybe the parent is rich, he had a lot of properties like landed properties, anything, company. So when the father or the mother died, the child is expected to inherit everything that belongs to the father, right?
Yeah.
Okay, still the same way Python works. So when you create a parent class, you can the child class you created can inherit the parent class. For example, what are the name like the okay, like the name of the parent class. So these are the things uh, Python uses. Okay, Python is similar to our daily life. Okay, and
Yeah.
I want you to search for attributes. What is the meaning of attribute and what's the meaning of method in a class?
What you say to search for?
Attributes in class.
Okay, I'm coming. Attributes in Python or attributes inheritance?
Attributes in inheritance. Inheritance. Okay. And scroll down. Let's see. Scroll down. Scroll. You can continue scrolling. Hello.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
hearing
Go
you.
up. Go up again. Go up. So let's read the first Google response. Okay. Now click on it. Click on
It's
it.
an AI overview.
Yes. Click on it. Let's see the more. Click more. Okay. Okay. Now we start from the start. Starting. Let's read it. Um,
Attribute inheritance in computer science refers to the mechanism by which a class or object can inherit attributes for code reusability and extensibility, as you can define general characteristics in a parent class and then have child classes specialize these characteristics. How it works: parent and child. A parent class or base class defines attributes and methods that are inherited by a child class or derived class. Inheritance: the child class automatically gains access to the parent's attributes and method. Reusability: this avoids redundant code, as you don't need to redefine attributes and methods that are already present in the parent class. Extensibility: you can then extend the inherited functionality by adding new attributes or methods to the child class. Example: imagine you have a general animal class with attributes like name, species, and method like eat and makeup. You can then create child class like dog, cat, and mouse, which will inherit these attributes and method from animals. You could then add specific attributes to each child class, such as
bread for dog, or has for cat, and override methods like make sound to produce a unique bark, mew, or squawk, respectively. Benefits: reduce redundancy, avoid repeating code across multiple classes. Maintainability: easier to modify code if changes need to be made to a base class. Flexibility: allows to creating specialized classes based on a general class. In different contexts, object-oriented programming. Inheritance is a fundamental concept in object-oriented programming. Com- compiler design. Inherited attributes are used in compiler design to pass contextual information between different parts of the program. Data
Okay,
model.
good. You can
Okay.
stop. Okay, so far, we are going to continue tomorrow. Remember, we have our class tomorrow, and I told you that on Sunday we are not going to have our Sunday classes again,
On
and
Sunday.
yeah, we are going
Um,
to hold our classes from Tuesday and Monday. So next week we are moving
is it
to
is it like you're occupied on Sunday?
no.
Because it should have been easier for me to substitute one of these days in the working days for Sunday.
Okay, to Sunday.
Yeah, either I substitute Tuesday or I substitute Wednesday for Sunday. Any one of them.
Okay, good, no problem. And okay, we are going to substitute this. Okay, we are ending Python programming tomorrow, right?
By God's grace.
Yes, tomorrow by God's grace. Okay, and from next upper week or
Yeah.
Sunday there will be no class. From
Okay.
next upper week on Tuesday and Sunday we are going to be having our class.
Okay.
Tuesday and Sunday we are going to focus on advanced data analysis, and I want you to put
But I
take
want to
time.
I want to ask for something. I don't know if it will affect your time.
What?
I just if it will be possible for me to get like a 1 week break. I want to revisit everything again and also finish. You know that I have an assignment for you as well, right?
Yes.
So I want to finish the assignment and do a comprehensive go over
Oh,
of everything that we've dealt with for me to comprehensively understand what we have covered before I can move to the advance.
okay, no problem. And let's finish this tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you have now till next upper Sunday.
Okay.
From Wednesday and
Yeah.
next upper Sunday, you are free. We are not going to have class. Okay.
Okay, okay. Because I want to
So
revisit all the videos and this on in your YouTube page that we've covered and try to see how best I have understood. And I want to put myself on test as well.
good. So good, good. I love that. I love that. And so you have enough time from
Okay.
from next week and the next few days. We have tomorrow is Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So you have um, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the next upper week to conclude. So on Sunday